Hello everyone, I'm Frank. Should we ban guns? Guns don't kill people, people kill people. That is the quote from the National Rifle Association. So, what is the real problem with guns in United States? Many persons through history has used guns for good and bad things, but recently a surprising number of people think that banning guns is a good idea. They think that it will rid America of gun violation. But this isn't very good reasoning. The reasoning behind banning guns basically is this: if guns can't be purchased or sold, and nobody can legally possess a firearm, a technical term of a gun, that gun violence will happen, right? It's wrong, I think. Bad people will always find ways to get a weapon to their bad deeds. Banning guns just because they have an ability to kill people is like banning this spoon because it has ability to make somebody fat. Doesn't make much sense, does it? But it all depends on whose hands the gun or the spoon is in as to whether it will be good or bad. I do believe that a fire gun control needs to be put into place a better form, better background checks, age limits. For a private sales of a weapon, that's not through a licensed federal firearm dealer. Age checks, proper instruction, and handling a weapon. An example of this is within the last 10 years, a law was put in place that nobody can own a handgun or any gun with a barrel under 18 inches before they passed a certified handgun safety course in the state of Michigan. If weapons are banned, then it puts up staying the citizen in harm's way, and they can no longer protect themselves from people with bad intentions. An example of this is recently a man in his mid-60s was being held up by a robbery in a Walmart parking lot, and he had to fire 2 shots. But the criminal wasn't hurt. Had the man not been armed, licensed by the state of Michigan to carry a concealed weapon, it could have been much worse for him not be here today. Also, it's a constitutional right set out in the Second Amendment, which states, and I start quote, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, if guns are banned, then it will infringe on the Second Amendment right and basis our country was founded on. To show the guns aren't the problem and people really are, in 2014, there was 32,675 vehicle-related deaths, car accidents, and there were fatalities in and 1,405 fatal guns-related incidents, even though there are 20 million more guns than cars in the United States. Also, far more people are injured fatally by everything from spoons to knives, even hands. But it's having common sense and knowing weapons are necessary for survival in many northern parts of the continent, along with the fact that it's a heritage in a country to grow up and hunt and live off the land. Personally, I've not grown up with the guns my whole life. So I've I have listened several stories that people were hunted with them and shot them numerous many times, more than I can even remember. But I've never seen anybody get injured, hurt, or killed in my country. I've never been responsible for anybody hurt because it all comes down to how you handle that weapon, how you think you can use them. But as Americans, people shouldn't be afraid of guns, but people need to rethink the respect that they've given those guns. So, also the types of the guns, weapons, I need to be regulated, like an AR-15 style weapon with a 30 round magazine. It might not be necessary for home defense or herding or hunting, but they certainly have their place. But limiting the magazine to only holding 10 rounds definitely be a good step in the right direction. But that's the speech for another day. So in conclusion, overall banning guns is a bad idea. It leaves civilians helpless against threats and criminals. It infringes our constitutional rights, and it takes the heritage of the great outdoor way away. The only answer, I believe, in solving gun violence is being smarter with guns and not harder on the people. What I mean by this is looking at instances where people have done bad things with guns, and then look at the instances that for years people have not done bad things with guns. They had common sense. They've hunted and lived with guns for years and years, and nothing bad has happened. So, thank you for your time. That's my speech.